If there's one thing I love to do, I love hating. It's an emotion that is really entertaining when it needs to be, but there's a group of people who are trying to take that away from me. Here's the thing, I don't appreciate that, so maybe stop so I can give your dumbass some criticism. If something pisses you off, you have every right to tear that work to shreds. But you have to remember this one thing, that not everyone will agree with you, including me. And every single person nowadays wants to be liars for the sake of being nice. Now, I'm a person who appreciates honesty. Of course, I will silently feel dead inside after the brutal truth that you will never be mine, will you? Anyways, it's better to be honest with your words rather than lie and say it's good. Now, there is a difference between criticism and support because for some reason people think that if you're saying something bad about something, then that doesn't mean that you're supporting them. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like my work, then sure, it's valid, it's a free country, and you unfortunately have freedom to hate my work. Go fuck yourself. Now, for people who lie and say that something is good when it's not, just stop. It's better to be honest about your thoughts. You might trigger something that makes it better or adds a new idea to make it more interesting, and that's genuinely very positive. But the one person who rejects all of that is businessmen. Now, would I call the modern day businessmen actual businessmen? No, absolutely not. Most of them fumble the bag constantly and make more slop on top of the already existing slop. You all are a joke. None of you know what we want at all. And you're trying to silence critics instead of being better as a company. And for God's sake, this is how you don't do a company. Because they love to silence honesty, none of them could take the truth and better themselves from it. They would rather secretly create propaganda from one of their news companies that they own than ever think about bettering themselves as a company. And this goes for game companies also. Have you ever noticed that YouTubers take sponsorships to play games and they're overwhelmingly positive with barely any sort of complaints? Yeah, that's because the company wants you to buy it. They don't care about honesty. They would rather burn and take a shit on it before they ever think about doing some dumb shit like that. If a gamer is playtesting the game, shouldn't they be honest with the errors in the game? You know, because that's their job, and I'm really not blaming the creators here because they're trying to get a bag. If I was ever playing a game early access, I would 100% try my best to fight for my honest opinion on the game. Oh, but that's too cruel. Isn't that right, Mark? Yeah, for some reason, me paying $70 for a game and not tearing it apart and blowing my brains off is too mean. And you know what? You're right. I think I should play Suicide Squad and try not to do the first word. Seriously, if I paid for a game with my hard-earned money and you failed to deliver on it, don't act so surprised when I murder your game and try to get my money back. And by the way, what are the higher-ups gonna do? And I'll answer that for you. Nothing. They don't care about what I think. So why go after them when the ones writing and directing the dog shit are right there? Think about this. If this method actually worked, there wouldn't be any criticisms to the game or the company, would there? Sure, you would see your fair share of people who hate the game and everything it stands for, but if the company constantly fails and actively try to hide any criticisms to their brand by producing propaganda that divides everyone, and all because you wanted to make a product that was doomed to fail from the start. This is why I don't see them as businessmen, because actual businessmen would understand common sense that this is what we want and want to see more of. And this is how you drown the IP to the fucking ground. I'm sick of it. Companies need to take criticisms to further make their game or product good. An amazing example of this is Marvel Rivals. And at the time of me writing this, it's already been 5 days and I haven't finished the script at the moment of me making this video. because of my crippling addiction to Marvel Rivals. Anyways, Marvel Rivals does a great job at taking criticism and making their game better. They are by far the only company at the moment that listens to their community and knows exactly what we want, and is currently killing Overwatch. Despite the game being a clear example of what companies should do when it comes to criticisms, they still try to silence it and try to do damage control instead of fixing the problem. This is something that not a lot of people do. They're never accountable for their mistake. They never try to make things right. Nowadays, people should acknowledge flaws and better it in the process. This goes for everything: art, entertainment, and even people in general. They love to always be in the right instead of sucking it up, being better, and moving on. And yeah, that's all. Sorry if this video isn't as creative as my other videos. I'm honestly attempting to be better with my upload schedule and play Marvel Rivals, but also think about what I need to do with the days I assigned myself. I honestly had a better idea for this thing, but I was consumed by time. I feel like I should damn it. I feel like I should do this one thing where I make the idea and in the process I just make it a lot better. There was an idea that I wanted to make that needed to be scrapped because of this video being put out. So yeah, hopefully I have more time to be creative with my ideas, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and yeah, bye.